Hi everyone, welcome again. Thank you for tuning into the Ani Marie YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here again. I am also excited. You always say that because I am. I'm excited to talk about today's topic, which is communication is key. This is part 2 of communication is key. We first talked about communication is key dealing with yourself. Communication first deals with you. It addresses you first. And this second part is all about others. So us knowing who we are, making sure we have communication because we know we need it. And then when we communicate with somebody, how do we do it? How important is it? Why? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I hope you enjoy it. I know you will. I ain't gonna say hope because I know you will. I just be setting it up because I'll be like, I hope you will, but I know you are. So like every time they be like, oh, Ani, you always say you hope and it's good. Like, yeah, because I know it's good, I love you guys. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for liking, and I thank you for sharing. You're always so wonderful to me as I continue every day to try to be wonderful to you as much as possible. Meaning like, I want to give you all my time. I gotta consider me sometimes too, right? That's what I teach, so I gotta do it, right? Come on, like. But I love you all. I hope you enjoy. This is Communication is Key Part 2. Love you. First thing, through God, hey love, I want to say something. Maybe you didn't hear it all the time, and maybe, thank you, Tokyo, thank you, love, and maybe like, maybe you don't know what I'm gonna say. Just say you don't know what I'm gonna say. Hi, my child advocate. Hey, love. I love you guys. I love you. Yes, man. I love you like you haven't no idea. I love you all. Seriously, so beautiful. So today's topic is communication is key. Now, if you guys know, you already seen and you was here. Yes, AJ. You was already here and you already know that I did communication is key about 2 weeks ago, right? But we talked about, so this is part 2. So part 2, communication is key, because the first part of communication is key, we really dealt with ourselves. The reason why we deal with communication and have to deal with communication is because directly pointing to us. Okay, here we go. You guys excited? I'm excited. I'm excited. I am. It's like when you go to another level, hey Yellowbone, when you go to another level of like learning and growth and all this stuff, and you be like, dang, that's why that happened. And you get upset with yourself of feeling like you wasn't gonna make it, or you feeling like it was too hard, and you got out of that thing and you're like, man, I recognize my strength. I see it, right? Hey, gorgeous. Hi, love. Andre. So I'm excited about that today. So we're going to talk about communication is key, because communication is key. What did we learn before? We learned that communication directly has to deal with us. If I'm not able to communicate with you, then that means that there's something wrong with me. So we talked about this. So when we talk about communication is key, we already spoke about the reasons on why it has to deal with us first, right? The reason why it has to deal with us first is because if I'm not able to communicate with you, it's not a problem with you, it's a problem with me. You're right? And if you really want to get into the breakdown of that, I'm just going to get on it a little bit just so we can understand where we're going. We're talking about the next part, right? The first part of communication is key that we dealt with, which is on my YouTube. Ani Marie, A-N-I, Marie, M-A-R-I-E. It deals with you yourself. Communication starts with you. And then there's certain tools. JJ, I love you. And then there's certain tools that we use to actually communicate with people. Because it's not just enough for us to understand I need communication to get to where I need to go, but I need to communicate properly. You see that? So we can try, but if we don't have the right tools to communicate with people, we're not going to go anywhere. So we dealt with knowing that communication directly is a reflection of us and not the person that we're dealing with. And that's what we discussed already. We discussed that we understand that we have to communicate with everyone because we need the very thing that communication brings. And that means that means you. So the communication directly has to deal with you. Now we're going to another level. Now that we understand that it has to do with us, we are taking it a step further into communication with people. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about us being a better listener. Us being a better listener. That's rough. Come on. If we could be real, listening is rough. And I'm going to give you an example of it. Have you ever been talking to somebody and dealing with somebody? Hey, Hot Rod. Square. Hey, love. Billy. Have you ever been talking and dealing with somebody and you were right? Listen to this. This is how you know if you're a good listener or not, right? So you're talking to them and you're right. You got the receipts. You got everything to shut this situation down real quick. We could shut this convo, argument, whatever you want to call it. Hey, all I got. Hey, Grand Rising to you, King. We could shut this down real quick. I got receipts. I could show you that I'm right. Hi, my beautiful lace angel. I just laugh in their face. No, JJ. No, we're getting better. Communication is key. But we choose to listen to what they have to say because we want them to voice their opinion, right? We could just shut them down real quick, but we're waiting them and respectfully waiting our turn so we could explain why we are right. But what I'm talking about, thank you, King. What I'm talking about is what happens while you're waiting for them to express how they feel. Don't you get like antsy? Like, don't you like, man, I just want to interrupt them. Like, oh, nah, that's not it. I got proof right here. Don't you get like, oh, like you just in the chair, like you just waiting, you standing up, you just like, dang, if they could just finish, I could just show them that what they're saying is not true because they don't understand this. I got the receipts. I know that I'm right. It's right here. Everything you're saying is not true. Like, you need to finish so I can interrupt you. Okay, so right energy. If you can't control yourself when somebody's speaking to you because you know you could shut them down because you have all the receipts and everything that they're giving and saying out doesn't make sense, but you want them to finish what they're saying, it's hard for us to sit and listen. But you must allow the message to come through first. That's what I'm talking about, energy. That's what we're talking about. Tay, hi, love. Hi. That's what we're talking about. When I say you must be a better listener, that means you're able to listen. It doesn't mean that you're able to listen because you're right. Or it doesn't mean that you're able to listen because you're wrong. And it doesn't mean that you're able to listen because they're right. And it doesn't mean that you're able to listen because they're wrong. Do you see that? When we come to be a place to be a better, hey, Starseed, come on, truth energy, it's deeper than that. It's not about whether you're right or wrong anymore. Because if I come to a place to understand that communication is key, I need to be able to communicate with you regardless if you're right or wrong. Starseed, hi, gorgeous. Communication is key. We must be better listeners. A better listener isn't determined whether you're listening to something right or you're listening to something wrong. We must become a better listener. Some people listen to respond and not to truly get clarity. Come on, Star Boy. When you're in a better place to understand, come on, this thing is like taking forever to come up. When you're in a place to better understand some things, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. If we believe truly communication is key, then I care about what you're saying, whether it's right or wrong. Do you hear me? I care about what you're saying, whether it's right or wrong. I'm a good listener. I understand communication is key, so I want to hear and listen to everything that you have to say. Even though I have receipts to shut it down. I have the receipts to shut it down. I know I'm right. I know you're wrong, but I don't want to shut it down because out of the mouth, the heart speaks. And if I shut down what you're delivering to me, if I shut down what you're speaking to me, I'm shutting down your heart. And if I shut down your heart that's speaking to me, I could never truly understand what your motive is in my life. I could never truly understand what I need from you, what you need from me. So what you're saying, Candy, that it goes down to loving yourself? Being a good listener goes down to loving yourself? Having communication is key? Then when I say the part one had to deal with us. And that's why I went there the first time. Give up the need to be right is key. Come on, Star Key. Because Star Key. Look at that. Star Seed. Come on, love. Hey, Taylor. Grand Rising. Swords Freak. I love you. Miss Happiness. Sunflower. Thank you, love. It's not about we're not in baby stages anymore. We're not in diapers anymore. We're not toddlers anymore. I don't need to prove to you like in a schoolyard, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. We don't got to do that anymore. I'm too grown for that. I'm on another level. I want to understand why you feel like you're right. I want to understand why you're trying to prove me wrong and I know that I'm right. I love myself enough. Thank you, Sports Freak. Thank you, love. I love myself enough to understand that I want to know who I'm connected to. That's why communication is key. I want to know you. I want to know the intimate, deep parts of your heart. I want to get deeper to understanding you because I need to know who's around me and who's in my circle. I need to know who I'm sacrificing my energy and my time for. I need to know if they're for me or if they're for what I'm for or if they're not for me or for what I'm for. I need to know. But we can never know if we don't listen. If we're always too quick to shut them down to prove that we're right, then how do we really truly know who they are? They're telling you that they're going to betray you, but you keep shutting it down because you don't want to listen. They're telling you that they don't support you, but you keep shutting them down because you don't want to listen. Proving them right is better than your well-being with them being connected to your life. That part. Now that's crazy. Proving yourself right is better than you figuring out if they're good for your wellness or not. The way I can figure out if somebody is good for my wellness or not is being a good listener. Is understanding communication is key. Communication is the key to my destiny. The communication will unlock my promises. Communication is key. It's the key to the destiny, the door to destiny. It's the key to the door of promises. It's the key to the door of purpose. Communication is key. When I understand that I must become a better listener, I know that it directly deals with my self-love. Become a better listener because it directly deals with your self-love. I'm listening better because if they want me to know, but they don't care about what I have to say, then I have to remove myself from that relationship because if I don't, then I don't love myself enough to do it. I have greater self-love in me. I have self-love in me to understand that communication is key. My great self-love for me on the inside makes me a good listener, because I love myself more at the end of the day to understand what your motive is for my life, what your motive is for this relationship. I don't care about proving people right or wrong. Hey, Poetic, I don't care about proving people right or wrong. I care about how you feel. I care what's being spoken from your heart. I care why we're connected. That's what I care about. Why? Because I have self-love on the inside. And the self-love on the inside doesn't allow me to stoop to these toddler levels trying to prove me right, you wrong, and all this other stuff. No, the self-love on the inside has a standard. The self-love on the inside says you need to keep this standard, and we're going to make sure, and we're going to filter through and make sure that you are connected to the right people. That's why you must be, Candy, a great listener. I must become a great listener because it directly deals with the self-love I have inside of me. I know there's something more. I don't just have anybody around me just because. I'm not scared to be lonely because the love that I'm looking for when I'm lonely, I already possess it on the inside because I have self-love for me. It brings the best out of each other. Communication brings the best because I'm a better listener because I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand where your heart is coming from. And if I understand that, if I know that's my place, I'm going to help it grow. No, not the dancing. I'm going to help it grow. I'm going to see why you feel like what we're doing and what I did was wrong. And I can help you in that. Or sometimes we could believe that we're right, but there's something that the person is telling you from their perspective that's going to help you grow. It brings the best because it's something deeper for us. I need to be a better listener so I can understand what you're saying. I can understand what you're speaking in my life. And you know how deep it is? We shut people down and they're trying to tell us that they're going to betray us along the line. We're not a good listener, so when they start speaking, we shut them down, and they're telling us that they're going to cheat on us along the line. We're not good listeners. We're not great listeners, so we shut people down when they're trying to tell us that they're going to betray us. Thank you, Square. Yes, love. We shut people down when they're trying to tell us that they're going to cheat on us, when they're trying to tell us that they're going to hurt us, when they're trying to tell us that they're going to cause us some pain, when they're trying to tell us that they're going to cause us some abuse. We shut them down because we're not patient enough to even listen to the wrong that they have to say to us. You know how deep that is? We have gotten to a point that we listen to people's wronging on us, and it's a numbing sensation. We don't even hear it. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, Poetic. We don't even hear it. We don't hear that mental abuse anymore. We don't hear that emotional abuse anymore because we're not good listeners. We done blocked out all of the listening that's going to tell us that this is not a situation we should be in, but we don't want to deal with that part because we're dealing with fear so much of the unknown. We're stuck in the situation because we're scared to go out of it that we choose not to listen to the abuse that we're hearing. Legs, hi gorgeous, and Lauren, hi beautiful. Welcome forward, my queens. Yay, I love you. That abuse. We're not listening. We're not good listeners because we came to a point that we dealt with so much in our life. We have become numb. We have become numb in our ears. We're so used to always being on the defensive side, always having to defend ourselves. We're so used to it that we don't even listen to people anymore. Because as soon as they start talking, we start putting our guard up. We start defending ourselves. That's not a life that we was called to live. So I'm numb from what I'm hearing. I had to defend myself so much. I actually care about being right than I care about what your position is in my life. I always got the short end of the stick. Life wasn't fair for me. So I always got to stand up and defend myself. I'm always on the defense. So when people start talking to me, I got to prove myself right, because if I prove myself right, it's going to show you how important I am. And if I prove myself right, it's going to show you that I care about myself. But that is false. Proving yourself right has nothing to do with it. If you truly love yourself and you care about who you are, you're going to be a great listener. You're gonna be a great listener. Your communication has to. I just went through that in my last marriage. Come on, Square. Let's be real. I love when you guys comment. Hey, sweetie. Lauren, thank you, love. Yes. Closer to 4 stars. You guys are awesome and amazing. Thank you, love. Communication, it has to be effective. Your communication has to be effective. What is effective, Candy? It is successful in producing a desire or an intended result. It's successful in producing a desired or intended result. Effective is, we can't effectively communicate if we don't listen. Come on, Nola. Our communication has to be effective. That's why we gotta be better listeners. Communication is nothing if it's not effective. It's empty. Communication is nothing if it's not effective. If it's not able to successfully produce a desire. If the communication is not able to successfully produce a desire or intended result, then it's no good. If your communication cannot produce a successful desire or it cannot produce an intended result, then you are doing something wrong. Great communicators do not choose who they want to communicate with. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. Great communicators do not choose who they want to communicate with. That part. Come on, Nola. Hi, honey. Hey, love. They don't choose. Thank you, Lauren. Hi, beautiful. Grand Rising. Welcome forward, honey. I love you. Thank you for always your beautiful energy. I can't read your name. TKJK. Hi, love. Welcome forward. Dr. William. Hey, love. I am absolutely fantastic. I hope you are too, honey. Okay, so great communicators do not choose who they want to communicate with. It's not about the person for a great communicator. It's about the skills that they use to communicate. It's not the person. Again, great communicators do not choose who they want to communicate with because they're more focused on the communication skills that they use and not the person. I'm a great communicator because I listen. I'm a great listener because I have patience. I'm a great listener because I have long suffering. I'm able to suffer some things because I know there's an intended end. I'm a great listener because I have unconditional love. It doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong, I still love you. That's what makes me a great communicator. That's what makes me a great listener. It's more than this. Thank you, DJ. Aw, thank you, honey. It's more than this. I know communication is key to unlocking every door that is before me. Every door that has to deal with my purpose and my job. Every door that has to deal with my destiny. Every door that has to deal with my promises. I know communication is key. Why do you think that people say that? We live in misery when we deal with people that we cannot, throughout our life, that we cannot communicate with. How are we in relationships 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years and we're not even able to communicate with them freely? We can't even come to a place to speak to them as if so we don't feel judged, or speak to them in a place that we're able to be, it's a safe place where we can let our feelings out. We can show our emotions. We're so scared. That's not a place of communication. Empress, hey gorgeous. Yes, finally I found someone positive to follow on here. Your energy is everything. Thank you, love. Thank you, Libra. So many are in therapy because they weren't listened to. Come on. They wasn't listened to. Or, here we go. They listened too much that they lost their voice. And I'm saying that because that's me. Communication goes both ways, and we're supposed to be great listeners. And once we listen and understand who we're dealing with, and we register what they are, it's our chance to speak. Communication never can come one way. And the crazy part about that is I never knew that until I got into therapy. Lauren, exactly what you're talking about. So many people are in therapy because they was never listened to, and so many people are in therapy because they listen too much and don't have nothing to say. Thank you for bring that up, Lauren. So the point of her saying that and the point of me saying that is therapy is therapeutic. Therapy is something that helps us to be our better selves. Never look at therapy or counseling as a weakness. Never. I know that's what we was learned. I know that's what we was taught, especially in certain races, especially in certain backgrounds, that therapy and counseling and all that is something wrong, but that is false. I'm standing here before you. I'm here before you to show you that there is something true about being in therapy. Being able to release those things in a safe place. You're providing therapy, right, Square? If you're able to listen to me, then you are accepting a form of therapy, a release, a understanding. Yes, love. Thank you, King. So great communicators do not have a choice on who they communicate with. They're not concerned about you as yourself as a person as a whole. They go to the level where they're able to understand that I need to be concerned about the communication skills I use and not who I use them on. I need to be concerned about the communication skills I use and not who I use them on. Junebug, thank you, love, for your gifts the other day. I saw it after. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I do. Great communicators know how to deal with difficult people because they focus on their skills more than the person. I understand that when I communicate with somebody that's being difficult, that has bad energy, what I need to do is use good energy to combat that bad energy, and I do not exhaust myself. That's good communication skills. I'm going to deal with you with my positive energy, but I will not deplete my positive energy on you. I will give you some, and when I understand that I should release it, I will. And when I need to stop, I will. Thank you, Junebug. That part, right, Nola? Because I could sit here and fight with negative energy and give it positive energy all day, but it's not my place to deplete myself completely because, hey, sexy, hi, love, because I have to love myself more at the end of the day. And if I give you all I got, well, how am I going to love me? When you're a great communicator, you know how to deal with difficult people. I'm going to give you an example. I had did an auction before, and somebody cursed me out in their inbox. Do you hear me? Somebody cursed Candy out in the inbox. I did an auction. I invited different talents. It was a talent show. And I'm just going to show you something about communication. And this person was in the talent show, right? And they ended up leaving. They was in the box. I didn't know why. So the next morning, I figured it was emergency or something. I said, Grand Rising Queen, how are you doing? Etc., etc. And I said, I don't know what happened, but I hope everything's okay. Sending prayers your way, this and that. Author, hey love. And she responded back to me and said, don't you ever effing do that. You be cursed. Da, 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 da. You don't ever, will never disrespect me again. I have all my family there. Da, 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 all this stuff. And she was like, yeah, you chose to kick me out the box and da, da, da. So I never kicked her. I just moved her next because I put her up. She wasn't ready. So I put her back, not even in the comments, back in the boxes. Pulled her up again, no response. So I put her back. So every time I just put her next. So I did that twice and then she left. So I didn't even know that was the reason why she left. So, she wasn't ready. She was like, yeah, the first time I wasn't ready. And the second time my mic was muted. So I wasn't ready. So she was saying all this stuff and she was going crazy about it. So I was like, all right. So my response was, because we're talking about communication is key. Now she came at me with crazy energy, cursing me out, all this negative energy and all this stuff. And first of all, I said, I apologize to you for how you feel. Bam, hey love. I said, I first apologized to her. Candy, you didn't do nothing wrong. Are you crazy? You actually was helping her to make sure she had herself all together. You didn't even drop her in the comments. That doesn't matter to me. Did you hear what I said? Communication is key, and it doesn't matter whether we're right or wrong. When we come to a place of maturity and understanding that communication is key, I don't need to prove myself right. If I love you, I'm going to help you, not prove that you're wrong. There's a difference. And I love that queen. I don't know her off of Bigo. We never talked besides going on lives. I never even was in a panel with her before. I just knew she had a talent and I asked her to come up. But when I tell you, king and queens, on this live platform that I love you, that's what I mean. So when you come to curse me out, I'm not cursing you out because I love you too much to do that. And even though you stooped on that level to say it to me, I will not go down and lower my frequency for you. You're going to have to hear me and come up. Do you hear me? You're going to have to hear me and bring your frequency up to understand what I have to say. So the first thing I did, even though I was not wrong, was I apologized. I said, I apologize to you, queen, for you feeling that way. I never in my heart ever wanted you to feel like I would disrespect you. I respect your talent, queen. You are awesome. I hope that your gift is blessed and flourishes and increase. And I hope that your gift continues to make room for you. I brought you to this panel because I know how much a gifted queen you are. And I'm sorry that you feel that way. But I need you to know that I love you. And when it comes to me, you don't gotta fight. I give you this love freely. Be blessed, queen. That was my response. Because the language, yes, because the language that she spoke to me, I was listening to. Hear what I have to say. She cursed out somebody that's giving her a spotlight. Doesn't have no fans on Bigo. Was sought out to come to the platform to show her skill and her gift. Someone that functions with her in unconditional love. And she cursed me out. So I'm a good listener. I'm a good communicator. I'm a great communicator. Because I didn't hear her cursing me out. I heard all the hurt and pain that she dealt with through her life. I heard her soul being defensive because she was always kicked when she was down. I heard her feeling like she never could have something good. I heard her being defensive about where she's been. So I didn't take that thing as to heart. I didn't take it to the person of Candy. I took it to what her heart was speaking. That's what the word says. The word says, out of the mouth, the heart speaks. She was telling me that she was broken. She's tired of struggling. She's tired of people always coming at her. She's tired of people always trying to hinder her gift, silence her gift, always trying to mess up her opportunities. She's tired of it. And that's what she was saying. And it had nothing. It had nothing to do with me. Oh, sorry. Thank you, love. Bless you for hearing that, what she was feeling and not what she was saying. Because I listened. That's what I said. Communication is key. We must become better listeners. Communication is key, and I understand communication has to lock my doors. That key to communication has to lock my doors. So it's not about whether somebody can communicate with me or not. It's about I'm able to communicate with them. Because I need that key to unlock the things that I have in my life. It ain't got nothing to do with you. We spoke about that already. That communication is key because I need those keys to communication to unlock those things in my life. The door to destiny, the door to purpose, the door to promise. I need that key. So I got to become a great listener. I got to become a better listener because it depends on it. My life, my destiny depends on that thing. Momo! Hi, gorgeous. Welcome forward, queen. I love you. Love you, queen. I'm a great communicator because I wasn't listening to her on surface. I wasn't hearing the curse words. I wasn't hearing her saying I was disrespectful. I wasn't hearing her saying that I hurt. I'm a great communicator because I don't just listen to the surface. I don't just listen to the surface of it. I don't hear the curse words. I hear the pain behind it. I don't hear you saying these things that you're trying to lower my self-esteem. I hear the pain behind it. You know what her response was after I said that? Her response was, okay, you too. Just like that. We went from cursing me out, telling me I'm the scum of the earth, to her saying, okay, you too. She accepted something. Her response was shocking to her. She didn't even have anything to say back to me because of what I said to her. Now, do you care about people's well-being more than you do being right? What could I could have said, because I was right. I could have said, well, it's something that you say that to me, queen, because the way you're responding is I just pulled you out of the box because I wanted to make sure that you was okay. I wanted to make sure you had everything together. That's why I kept putting you next. I thought that was benefiting you because I thought it would be better for you because I understand that's what I want people to do to me if I'm not ready. But you don't see that unconditional love because you're not used to it. You've been hurt so bad you always feel like you're a dog getting kicked when you're down. That's why you're coming at me with all this negative energy with somebody that was trying to help you. I sought you out, I seen your gift, and I pulled you on a platform so you can expand. But the perception that you have is the perception of defense, always fight or flight. And it shows what low frequency is you are on. Have a good day, queen, and a nice life. Everything that I said right there was truth. But the words that I spoke to her did not heal her. It just told her and showed her in the mirror how low she is. It showed her the low frequency that she's on. It didn't demand that low frequency to come up. When you're a great communicator, you begin to deal with people. Curtis! I love you, King. When you're a great communicator, you deal with people being better. That truth that I said could have been truth, but it did not elevate. I came at her with a whole nother different response than what she was used to. Come on, LaDawn. That's the level you're vibrating on. Come, hey love. Yay. Welcome forward, Queen. Ocean, hi love. I'm coming to you on a different vibration. I'm trying to get you to realize something, because maybe people don't care about that's around you. Maybe people just want to speak truth to you, but not speak truth and elevate. Not speak truth and hurt. Because I could have said that and she could have been hurt, recognizing all the pain and why she acts the way she acts. But no, I shed love upon her, because that's what the Most High directed me to do. I want to tell you guys a secret. You know I'm a great communicator? Because I allow the Most High to answer for me. Because let's be real, if it was up to Candy would have said that very thing, because I could see it in truth. You give me an equation, Candy, you give Candy an equation, I'll start deciphering that equation and start telling you where your traumas was, why you can't accomplish anything, why you do not have self-love, why I could decipher your life and who you are and your soul, and tell you what you got to do to get there. The Candy would have been, I got to be real with you, the Candy would have said what I said, because I'm used to come on. That's why I'm just silent. So no, but listen to this, LaDawn. So Candy, I say the truth to get you out of there, right? I say the truth Candy is the mirror. Candy without the Most High is the mirror. I'll take the mirror and show it in your face like this. You see how you look? You see how you are? You got to get up out of this. That's Candy. I'm hard. I love hard. And I want you to see who you are. Yeah. I hold the mirror up and I'm that tough love. Like you've been fighting your whole life, that when somebody shows you unconditional love that you're not used to, you start what's it called? What's that word? Rejecting it. You start rejecting it. Look at you. Look how you're acting. But the Most High, look at this, LaDawn. It's not about your mouth being zipped, because your mouth wasn't made to be closed. That's why I just said, I make the Most High answer for me. Do you hear me? When it comes to situations that are hard, when it comes to people and things they have to say, I make the Most High answer for me. My mouth is open to what he's saying. And he's the one who told me to answer her like that. He said, Candy, apologize to her. Tell her how amazing she is. And speak words of increase in her gift. Tell her that you love her and to stay blessed. That's exactly what the Most High had me write to her. It's up to Candy. Candy's real deal. Candy's like, take it or leave it. Candy's like, I'll tell you the truth and not blink twice. But to be a great communicator, why not get the skills of the great one to use that communication? To be a great communicator, why not get the greatest skills from the Most High to be able to communicate with? I don't know these people. What do you mean, Candy? Talk about you don't know these people. I love each and every one of you, king and queens. And I'm connected to you and love you unconditionally because the connection that you have with my Father. Do you see that? I understand who you are, queen. I understand who you are, king, because who my father is. He knows what you need. He knows what I have to say. I am a willing vessel to be used by him. I don't know who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? But he does. So why not see the Father that is yours to communicate with you with? I'm going to say that again. Why not see the Father, go to the Most High, so he could give you, the right words to communicate with the person that you're trying to communicate with? Come on, LaDawn. Yes, Sip. If you want to know something about people and you don't have access to them, you are going to go to the closest person to them to understand who they are. Why not go to the Most High for him to give you the words to answer people that are difficult? That's how you're a great communicator. Great communicators know how to deal with difficult people. Great communicators initiate difficult conversations. Did you hear that? Great communicators initiate difficult conversations. They don't stand on the sidelines because it might be difficult. They don't overlook it because they don't just feel like dealing with it today. They know that this is a difficult conversation, but it has to be had because communication is key. And I want to be a better listener to understand the person that I'm trying to have this difficult conversation with. And I'm worth more than that. I'm worth more than being in an uncomfortable place trying to figure out how I'm going to talk to somebody. A great communicator initiates difficult conversation. And it's not for gain. It's to understand someone better. Did you hear what I said? It's not for gain. It's not for you to prove that you're right and to prove them wrong. It's for you to understand them better. How could you truly know if somebody should be in your circle or around you in your life if you don't know who they are? That difficult conversation is helping you to understand their very being, their motives, their loves for you. Why are you avoiding that? That's why a great communicator initiates difficult conversation. Not initiating because I got receipts and I'm going to prove you wrong, but I initiated because I just don't understand why you think the way you do. So I want to understand it. Hide on a mountain. Come on, Yogi. Why? Because I care about myself more at the end of the day. I care about myself more at the end of the day. I love me more at the end of the day so I can love them better. That's why I'm a great communicator. That's why I understand communication is key. I want you to think of it like this. Here we go. This is going to be real short. Communication is key. Every time you deal with somebody in communication, they have the key. Catch this. They have the key. If I'm telling you communication is key, and they have the key, and I'm also telling you the key to communication unlocks the doors to your destiny, unlocks your promise, unlocks your purpose. So I need that key for me, for my journey. But they have it. When we choose not to communicate, we don't get the key. Is this good? Do you hear what I'm saying? That's what I talk about when in my first communication is key. Here we go, Sip. Communication is key. Every person that we communicate with has a key. Those keys unlock the doors to our destiny, unlock the doors to our purpose, unlock the doors to our promises. So I need to communicate in order to get that key that I need to unlock those doors in my life. So me being a great communicator is me being called to another level of my destiny. Is me being called to another level of my purpose. So it's not about the person, but it's about the key. So I can't sit here and complain, oh yeah, they're just hard to deal with, so I'm not talking to them. No, you're going to deal with them. Come on, Skull. You're going to deal with them because you know they have something that you need. It's not about them. It's about you. And I talked about this on the first Communication is Key, because this is part 2. Now we're getting deeper. Now we're dealing with people. But when we understand it directly has to deal with us. So that's what I'm saying. If we say communication is key, people have the keys. So we got to deal with the people, and we can't point fingers because they have something you need. I could point to you all day, but if I'm not talking to you, you can't give me the key. So I understand dealing with and communicating with people, it is benefiting me at the end of the day. It's benefiting my purpose. It's benefiting my destiny, benefiting my promise. Do you see that? Yes, right. Thank you, Sip. So it's not about, when we deal with communication, it's not about that person. It's about you first. Man, Candy, you was on the phone for 2 hours. You was trying to get through to them. Yeah, because there's something that they have that I need. I'm a great communicator because I'm a great listener. And as I listen to them, they're releasing the keys that I need for my life. Sometimes the person can release a key on the way out. Yes, love. Thank you for my taps. What do you mean, Candy? Sometimes you could be talking to somebody and they could release a key for them to open the door out of your life. Because you finally chose to listen and understand they're no good for you. Sometimes you could start talking to people. Hold on. Sometimes you could start talking to people and they release a key of growth. That by you listening to what they have to say, you grew and you gained more knowledge, even though they were wrong. There's always something when it comes to communication. There is nothing that the Most High does for naught. So everything we deal with is a pattern and a part of that journey, that place that we're getting to. When we ignore those things, it's like ignoring the stepping stones. That's what we do when we choose not to communicate. It's like going up a ladder and skipping stairs. There's going to come to a point where you're not going to be able to skip no more stairs. Listen to what I'm saying. You ever didn't want to communicate with somebody because you know it was going to be a difficult conversation, and somewhere along the lines you ended up blowing up? You ended up saying, all this you've been doing for 3 months because you blah, 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 because you chose not to communicate. You skipped too many stairs. You skipped too many stairs. You was able to skip 2. You was able to skip 3. You may have been able to skip 4, but when you got to that fifth stair, your legs wasn't long enough. And you got so frustrated trying to skip those 5 stairs that you just blow up. Because you don't know how to communicate. And every time we don't allow people to say what they have to say, or we ignore those difficult conversations, we skip stairs. There's going to come to a place in time that you're going to be forced to. And that's a place in time that you don't want to be in. It costs too much energy there. For me to try to skip 6 stairs, you know how much energy that would take me? Come on, try to catch what I'm trying to say. Man, if I just talked about that 3 months ago, the problem was so little, then I could have killed all this that we're dealing with 3 months from now. You're going to use more energy in the long run. And when you understand that, then you know I love myself more, I'm going to address every stare. Because I don't have energy to waste. There's too much going on in my life. If I can control my energy in this thing, I'm going to address it at every stare. Three components of communication: receiving, processing, and projecting. Come on, Skull. Skull says there are three components of communication: receiving, processing, and projecting. Yes, love. Hi, Nook. Hey, love. All right, we're almost done. Learn how to say no. That's a part of great listener. Yeah. That's a part of communication is key. Yeah. Because I said communication can't go one way. So we got to be better listeners, right? To understand who we're dealing with. Now we're coming to a place now you got to do something. Learn how to say no. Communication is key. If you cannot express the very thing that you do not want to deal with, where you're going to say no to, then there is an issue. There's no key in that communication. No, it's okay. I'll let her do it again. You know, I always do this for her, but I'll let her do it this time. I know I'm tired, but I'm just going to let it go. You know, I worked all day. I had to deal with the kids. Then my mother was sick, and I had to go through all this stuff today. But you know what? She wants me to do it, so yeah, I'm just going to do it. Communication is key. Hey, Nina. Hey, love. Honey flowers. Babe, I'm not able to do that because, you know, I've been working all day. Then I got home. Then the kids. My mom's sick. I know I didn't get to tell you that. There's a lot going on right now, and I just really feel depleted. I'm not going to be able to do that. It's okay, love. No problem. I understand. That's crazy. Your mother's sick? Wow. Just be able to say no? I didn't know that. Learn how to say no. Practice assertiveness. Assertiveness, I talked about, is a healthy confidence. It's a healthy confidence that you have still respecting others. Oh, no. I'm not going to eat that. I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. I can't eat that because, you know, I've been being vegan. I'm dealing with my health. I'm trying to live longer, fight this cancer that I know I'm never going to have because I'm living right and eating right. I can't eat that, but thank you so much. Thank you. You're amazing, and it looks delicious, but thank you. Did you see that? It's very hard for loving people to say no. It's very hard for loving. Listen to what you said. There's a key to that. That's deep. You said it's very hard. Israel, hey love. It's very hard for loving people. Let's break that down. For loving people to say no. Come on, let's break that down, Flipper. Let's break that down, Skull. It's very hard for loving people to say no. I'm going to say it one more time. Let's see who catches it. It's very hard for loving people to say no. That's the problem. You're loving people before you. You said it in your words. The problem is you love people more than you love yourself. It says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. It doesn't just say love thy neighbor. The people, what you meant to say, Skull, because that's what I say all the time. What you meant to say, Skull, is people with a loving heart forget to love themselves, so they can't say no. People with a loving heart forget to love themselves. That's why they can't say no. That part. It's hard for us because we don't love ourselves enough as we love the people that we love. You will always have to say no to people if it comes down to you. At the end of the day, you gotta love yourself more. And if you love yourself more, you're gonna be able to say no to people, because my well-being is higher than yours, because I can't truly help you on 1,000 if I ain't there yet. Do you see that? If I love myself more, at the end of the day, I love you better. So I can no longer be a loving people. I gotta love candy first at the end of the day so I can love people. That's our problem. The ones that have the big heart. The ones that, I'm talking because I lived it for 32 years. It wasn't until I was 30 years old that somebody had brought to my attention that I didn't know from a hole in the wall and said, why do you feel like you don't deserve anything? You give everybody everything, but you wouldn't take nothing for yourself. And it broke me down in 2 seconds to not know somebody that could take these blinders off my eyes to get me to a place to start loving myself. I died for everyone. My heart was so big, I would give you everything I got. That you could be walking over me, scraping me off the concrete. That's how much I loyal, loved, gave everything. Didn't care if I was dying in it. Didn't care if they was killing me in it. I just was superwoman, gonna do everything, gonna make sure everything is good, dying on the other side. Me, while I'm helping people, they are the kryptonite to killing me. It's deep, right? While I'm helping people as superwoman, they are the kryptonite that's killing me. And I didn't see it. So when we talk about loving people, it's hard to say no. The people that are loving, that have a big heart, because our heart, we're giving away. Our heart, we're giving to the people. That's why it's hard for us to say no. But our heart is supposed to be right here. Right here. That's where our heart's supposed to be. Not in anybody else's hands, but ours. Not anybody else's, but ours. So practice assertiveness. You're able to say no. Assertiveness is a healthy confidence that you use while you respect others. That's assertive. We need to start being assertive. We need to start standing for ourselves. We need to start believing in ourselves. We need to start standing for those standards. I'm not going to take anything less than I deserve anymore. I'm going to be assertive about it. I'm not going to disrespect you when I do it, but no, I'm not taking it. No, thank you. When you're a great communicator and you understand that communication is key, you can respond to a behavior that makes you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to say, I love this. Well, it's not the best thing I have to say, but it's the last thing I have to say. No. Yeah, I think I said it right. But as far as the topic, use reason to resolve conflict. Use reason to resolve conflict, not emotion. Use reason. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Calm. Use reason to resolve conflict and not emotion. Kiki. Thank you, love. Use reason and to resolve conflict and not emotion. That really deals with just having more, that really deals with you increasing your emotional intelligence. Basically, that's what that's saying. My emotional intelligence is increased when I deal with my emotions. I don't just react. I use wisdom and then I respond. That's what it's saying. Use reason to resolve conflict. I'm going to feel my emotions. I'm going to reason with my emotions, and then I will respond. But I'm not, when we come to a place to use reason to resolve conflict, we become better listeners. We become a greater communicator. Because we just don't go off how we feel. Because it's not just about us. It's not just about self. It's about the person that you're listening to. Do you see that? My emotion is going to make me prove that I'm right and not listen to what you have to say. But I should be listening to what you have to say to understand what you're speaking from your heart, whether you should be in a relationship with me or not, if you should be in my circle or not, if you even care about me or not. And we hear that in the wrong people say, so we can't just shut them down because we know we're right. There's something more to us than proving right or wrong. And that's when you use reason to resolve conflict. The reason is I need to hear you. I need to understand your shoes. I need to be in your mind to see why you're saying what you're saying so we could get through this communication. Not me proving you right or not me proving me right. That's what it means. Use reason to resolve conflict. That's it. Okay? I love y'all. Yes, you are amazing. Wow, was that not a mouthful? That was like a lot of information, but good food, right? Good food. It's like Thanksgiving, you waiting a long time. You sit at that Thanksgiving Day table and you're like, this is food. Thank you for feeding me. You know, like it was prepped in love and care, and it's all the things that you desire, and you eat that thing and you're just so satisfied. So I'm glad that you are satisfied. If you have any comments or anything to add, please comment on the video. I love that. And like the video if you do, and continue to subscribe for the people that haven't, and continue to share the live so we can reach the world and teach them how wonderful and beautiful they are. I thank you for your time and thank you for being so amazing, and I love you all. And one thing, do not forget how extraordinary you are, and do not forget at the end of the day, of all things that you do, all decisions you make, love you more. Love you more at the end of the day. It will cause you to love people better. And that's amazing. It works. Test it and try it and you'll see. Love you more at the end of the day, and it will make you love people better. I love you guys. Have an awesome, beautiful day.